Welcome to AC 24/7. I'm Stephen Walker. The white man who killed 3 black people in a racist attack in Florida was very focused. That's according to Jacksonville Sheriff T.K. Walter. He says the gunman, now identified as Ryan Palmer, left behind racist writings and used racial slurs. His assault rifle was emblazoned with swastikas.
There's no question about it. He hated blacks, and I think he hated just about everyone that wasn't white. He made that very clear.
The shooter died from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. He had no criminal arrest history, and it appears he legally purchased the 2 firearms earlier this year. A federal hate crime investigation is underway. Police say the gunman went to Edward Waters University first, but was turned away by campus security. Edward Waters is historically a black university. A student flagged down security because he looked out of place, and a TikTok video showed him putting on tactical gear. The university's president said those actions likely saved dozens of lives. The Advocate Channel's Rob Kirkpatrick has more.
Tragedy unfolded on the streets of Jacksonville Saturday when police say a gunman opened fire at a Dollar General store in a racially motivated attack.
At 1:18 p.m., he texted his father and told his father to check his computer. At 1:53 p.m., the shooter's family members called the Clay County Sheriff's Office. By that time, he had already began shooting in Jacksonville.
The gunman, who police identified as 21-year-old Ryan Christopher Palmer, killed 3 people, and police say he clearly targeted black people. The suspect used racial slurs and left behind writings to his parents, the media, and federal agents, outlining what the sheriff called his, quote, disgusting ideology of hate. The shooting occurred on the same weekend of the 60th anniversary of the March on Washington, and Martin Luther King's granddaughter says the dream is still not fulfilled.
60 years ago, my grandfather delivered his dream, his message, and that was a call to action. And 60 years later, the dream still has not been fulfilled.
Palmer put on a bulletproof vest and mask and went into the Dollar General store and started shooting before turning the gun on himself, according to police.
Anyone who enters into a store and does this to perfectly innocent people, one doing his job, a couple of customers, is baffling to me. It's very difficult for me to watch.
Members of the community, including Jacksonville's mayor, say the hate has to end.
It's too much. It's too often. We keep going down the same path.
This makes no sense. I am very, very angry right now.
I'm Rob Kirkpatrick reporting.
The victims of the attack are now identified as 52-year-old Angela Carr, 19-year-old A.J. Laguerre Jr., and 29-year-old Gerald Gallion. Gallion's family says they are still coming to terms with their loss and how to tell his 4-year-old daughter that Gerald is never coming home.
Gerald was a fun, loving young man. He was very active in my granddaughter's life from the day him and my daughter met to the time she got pregnant. He was at every hospital visit, every doctor's appointment. He was very, very active in her life. She loved her daddy, and her daddy loved her. He didn't miss a beat in her life.
What were his hobbies? What did he want to do in life? He was such a young man.
He can rap. He can play basketball. They played video games together. He took her to the park, but her favorite memory is when he took her to Dave & Buster's. It's hurtful because I thought racism was behind us, but evidently it's not. And that's what they're calling this act of racism. And I just feel like you was a coward. You went in there and shot these innocent people for nothing that you didn't even know. And then you took your own life. That's just the cowardly way to go.
Dollar General released a statement saying there is no place for hate. It's not clear if the shooter was aware of this, but the attack happened around 3 key anniversaries. Saturday marked 5 years since the mass shooting in Jacksonville at a Madden video game tournament. It's also the 63rd anniversary of Axe Handle Saturday, when 200 white rioters threatened to beat black people in Jacksonville with baseball bats and axe handles. And it also coincided with the commemoration of the 60th anniversary of the March on Washington. Dr. King's family says this is the latest illustration that King's dream has not yet been fulfilled.
It really was not surprising but it certainly was heart-wrenching. And one of the things I immediately thought about was the parallels between 1963 and literally 3 weeks after the original March on Washington, the bombing and the killing of 4 black girls. So yesterday, the same day when we had almost 200,000 people gathering together to stand for democracy in our country, we saw what happens with hate.
The White House issued a statement condemning the attack and calling for a ban on assault weapons and common sense gun safety legislation. 6 decades after Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. delivers I Have a Dream speech, the children who marched, protested and fought during the civil rights movement are now our elders. August 28, 1963, close to 250,000 people rallied for jobs and freedom. More than 60 national organisations were in attendance for the commemoration. President Biden is hosting a reception at the White House to mark the day. Thank you for joining us for AC 24/7. For more, go to advocatechannel.com and subscribe on the Advocate Channel YouTube page. For the Advocate Channel, I'm Stephen Walker.